Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul.
What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and I'm gonna say it for my brother who ain't here. It's your boy G Stove, and y'all are tuned in to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself. And tonight, as y'all can see, sitting in the legend seat, we have a brother with us tonight that has been and is a tireless worker in the cause of freedom, justice, and equality. He has been on the front lines working and spread the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the guidance and leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for 30 plus years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, very near correct. Very near correct.
Okay, well, we in the ballpark.
Yes, sir.
And he, in my opinion, has been blessed with the gift and the ability to be relatable to all age demographics, and at the same time had a down-to-earth delivery, but at the same time still be mathematical and scientific all the while. This brother, y'all have seen him on all your favorite platforms. Y'all have seen him dropping science anywhere down your timeline. You might scroll down and see a 60-second clip of him dropping some bombs, or it might be 2 or 3 minutes. But whenever you saw him, I'm certain that you wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to be the last time you saw him. He's straight out of Indianapolis, Indiana, from my 74. Still looking like he's a freshman in college. Our brother, student minister, Nuri Muhammad. How you feeling, family member?
Man, I'm feeling good, and now I'm better to be to share space and time with you, brother K Reno.
Brother, it's an honor. Like I was telling y'all on the elevator, I said, man, you know, I shot my shot at brother Nuri, man. He came through like a soldier, so we appreciate you taking some time to sit with us. We want to get right to it, family. According, just for you, what was your first venture into the nation? Listen, what drew you to the nation?
Well, you know, there's a verse in the Holy Quran that says, travel the earth and study the ends of those that have gone before you. I didn't know that verse because I didn't know anything about the Holy Quran. But we have, as a people, we have a genetic memory. So what our ancestors used to operate on, some of that's still inside of our DNA. So what, as we say, what had happened was,
right.
I was in the streets meddling at a young age, and I didn't like the way I was feeling, killing my people. Felt like I was down on the inside. So one day I was sitting on the porch, and a thought came to my mind. I wonder what the dope fiends were doing when they were my age. And instead of serving any of the dope fiends we used to serve, back then we had pagers back then. Turned off my pager, and I went to the liquor store, the alley, the trap house, and all I did was interview all the people we were serving. And every time I said, what was y'all doing when y'all was my age? And all of them, we was getting money just like you. And I was like, so you telling me that you used to sell dope, now you own it? 99.9% of all of them said yes. And it dawned on me that if I'm doing what you were doing when you were my age, then I'm going to be doing what you do whenever I become your age. The song wasn't out yet back then, but I don't know if you heard Bishop Bullwinkle, Hell No.
Oh, yeah.
To the no.
Yeah.
To the no.
Right.
It wasn't out back then, but that was my mindset. So, you know, anybody that's ever been in the street know that you get 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they call it crack rock. One, they make a fiend for the drug, the other, they make a fiend for the money. It's just as hard to stop selling as it is to stop using. So I'm trying to come out the streets. The only thing I do to get right, go to church. I'm going to church, Bible study. I'm doing all that they said do, but I'm not feeling the strength and the willpower to resist the pull of the streets. And lo and behold, my girlfriend at the time gave me Message to the Black Man and 2 tapes by Minister Farrakhan. I went, read the book, and I said, this is how I've been believing all my life. I just didn't know how to say it like this. And when I listened to the minister, I said, this man's got to be God. Who else could know this? And her father introduced her to the teachings. He wasn't in the nation, but he's what we call a sympathizer.
Right.
So he always supported everything that the nation did ever since the 60s. And he said to me, I said, I'm gonna tell you something, that man's more than we gotta think he is. Farrakhan, I'm telling you, he said, who you think he? I said, he's God.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody knows all that but God. And he said, well, he had a teacher, Elijah Muhammad. And he had a teacher. Mine was blown.
Wow.
So I at the age of 16, start doing deep study, 8 hours a day sometime longer. And my goal at one point was saying, I'm gonna see if I can prove this wrong, because from the outside looking in, this looked a little too disciplined for me. And I said to myself, if you can prove it wrong, you'll leave it alone. But if you can't, you'll submit and commit your life to it.
Right.
And here I am.
Right.
Suited to Buddha. So you know what happened with my argument. I lost.
You lost. No, but
I lost.
you really won. No.
And I really won. That's right.
Man, I've seen you so many times as everybody has, and you have, like I say, the ability, your words resonate really quickly. It's not something that people got to just, it's like as soon as you start talking, it's like it catches on. You remind me of like a lot of our favorite rappers would say, man, he's so relatable. Do you think that that's something you had to develop over time, or is that just part of your personality?
I guess it's a gift, but I teach the way I had to learn.
Right.
I never read a book I read one book until I joined the nation.
Yeah.
I read the autobiography of Magic Johnson in the 3rd grade. And it was one of them little thin ones.
Big letters.
I'm talking about thin ones with pictures.
Right.
And all I did was the same book report every year through school. And as my vocabulary got bigger, the report got longer, but I never read another book till I joined the nation. So I guess me having to learn the way I had to learn, breaking it down in simple form, that's how I end up teaching.
And coming out the streets too, I think that got a lot to do with it too, because as a rapper, it makes it easier to kind of translate the message, because you're pretty much speaking the language of the people. When you think about rap today, because a lot of times, and a lot of our podcasts are guilty of this, are kind of feeding into that beef culture, and all that. And I know that it's a hidden hand, it's a higher agenda that's really fueling that whole thing. What's your take on that in terms of just how hip hop has just been really just kidnapped and hijacked, and what do we need to do to get past?
You teach it. It's been colonized and weaponized. That's what has happened. It's been colonized and it's been weaponized.
Right.
This is before I even say that, I was gonna say this. There's a professor in Pittsburgh that is over music at a university. And do you know, he told me, I met him. He said, brother, do you know how to break down music? He said, I took your speeches and sent it through this computer. And he said that you teach to the rhythm of hip hop.
Mm.
And I put Malcolm X and some others, and they talk more to the rhythm of jazz. Now, I don't know what that meant, but he was saying it was something about the cadence,
right,
of however I express myself. So that's what he said.
Right.
I don't have a scientific breakdown of it, but that's his breakdown.
Yeah.
But I will say this, that music, they know, and have always known, is the most effective teacher on the planet.
Yeah.
If music isn't the most effective teacher, how do we learn our ABCs?
Come on, man.
Next time, won't you sing with me?
Yeah.
So music is the universal language of a people. There's no person that can't get a message better through a song than they can through a traditional educational presentation.
Right.
Music, in fact, God is a musician.
Right.
Think about that. Every sound from a horn is a duplication of a bird or an insect that's in creation. Even when you listen to a round of applause, it sounds just like the waves coming in off the ocean. The drums are a copy of the heartbeat. So music is our nature.
Right.
What the enemy knows is that I can take what you are naturally divinely inclined to by your nature, and I can slap some lyrics on top of it that'll distract your conscious mind, and I can program your subconscious mind.
It seemed like it took them a while to figure that out, because we came up in an era where we was listening to the Public Enemies and the Boogie Down with us, and we used to hear that music on the radio. But it's like they kind of, wait a minute, these Negro waking up, and they immediately put their hands on it. It's funny when you was talking about music. I had a brother, I don't know him, he just emailed me, and he told me, I guess he was Orthodox Muslim. I guess he say, man, you shouldn't be doing music. Allah doesn't want you to do music. I say, well, why did he give us the gift and the talent to do it? Why is somebody able to sing the way they sing? Why are people able to put these words together? And that just didn't make sense to me, but he never answered.
See, I never read, I've heard something like that, but the question is, did that come from Prophet Muhammad or Pookie Muhammad?
Which Muhammad might have been Pookie. No, it might have been Pookie, bro.
So, so you have these different sayings, and unfortunately, a lot of people that accept a faith have adopted the culture of the people that are the dominant figure in the faith and have used it as a part of the faith.
Right.
There's 5 pillars of Islam, and they none of that in there.
Right.
So you didn't add a 6th pillar and a 7th pillar, and you want to call it the Sunnah or the way,
Right.
but it's not necessarily the way of Muhammad. It's the way of the Arab.
Yeah.
That you might be representing.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. We have to be careful taking on mixed instructions other than our own assignment.
Yeah, difference between culture and the actual principles that were given.
And unfortunately that's how all of the faiths have had to wrestle with.
Yeah.
See, remember why did they crucify Jesus? They didn't crucify the man and leave his message intact.
Right.
So you killed the man because of a message.
Right.
So if I'm killing you because of the message, what will make us think we believe the message intact?
Come on.
So every time that a messenger of God leaves, the people that messenger came to have their community hijacked by the enemy, and he begins to add to and take away from and water it down.
Yeah.
So Prophet Muhammad, example, saying that he said years later, I've seen it. My mind has traveled down the line of time, and I have recorded my people that are the Arabs. They 300 years from now will not be the same kind of Muslim I am. So we have to be very careful, that we don't, in the name of trying to get close to Allah, we end up getting close to an Arab. So I would say this, the minister, listen to this. He said, one good rap song is worth 1,000 of my speeches. Now, the minister don't have no regular short speech. And when he's teaching with great substance.
Right.
So you're saying 2 hours of substance multiplied by 1,000. One good rap song. What's the average length of a rap song? 4 minutes?
These days, 2.5. But yeah.
2.5 minutes, and a minute of it is all hook.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But I'm saying that to say, how powerful is music?
Right.
That 4 minutes can do what 2,000 hours of teaching from the greatest teacher can do. That's saying that we need to start using this as a weapon of our freedom, and as a tool to build our people. Do you know, Brother Reno, that Mao Zedong, when he took power in China, his people were all on opium or selling opium, all drug addicts or drug dealers, the whole nation of China. They was on the bottom of civilization. Do you know what he did? He made it illegal for you to make any music except for music that uplifted the Chinese people.
Wow.
Every play that was put on the stage had to uplift Chinese people. There had to be articles that were inside of their publications that didn't just reflect the reality of what was going on, but there had to be something in it that gave hope to the future of the Chinese people. And by him making arts and culture promote Chinese pride, within 1 year, there were no more opium addicts or opium dealers. Now I'm saying I know for sure China has never had a Beyonce.
Come on.
China has never had a Jay-Z or Lil Wayne. China hasn't had the talent that we have.
Right.
So if in 1 year, the Chinese artists promoting Chinese pride can turn their nation around, what could we do with the talent we have?
Yeah. The leadership in America would never go down that route, you know.
But we got to take control of it.
Right.
See, we have to take control of it. We have the authority to control the narrative now.
Yeah.
We just have to believe in ourselves enough that we can distribute, push, and promote our own projects. Do you know that this is religious, spiritual? Do you know that the devil introduces himself as a ventriloquist?
Elaborate.
So, you know, ventriloquist is when they sit down and
Stick the
look.
dummy on the Yeah.
Stick the hand.
With Tyler and Lester.
Yeah, he said. So, and what happens?
He got the puppet master. That is
He's moving his mouth, but the puppet is not saying his own words from his own mind. He's saying the words of one that controls him. Satan is introduced as someone in the Bible that speaks to Adam and Eve through a serpent. Serpents don't have vocal cords.
Come on.
So if a serpent doesn't have a vocal cord, how did words come out the mouth of a serpent? It wasn't literal.
Right.
It's a parable. It's a metaphor. It's saying to us that watch out, because Satan is going to use someone else to represent his idea. So question is, whose lap are our artists sitting on? And whose hand is up their back?
Come on.
We see your black face and we see your lips moving.
Yeah.
But since question, whose mind is in your mouth?
Come on.
So you do know that you know from the industry that they have old white men, pen pushing old white men sitting behind desks, and they bring you in. They tell you, look, we've got great talent, but we need you to get a little lower.
Yeah.
And make it just get a little funky. You know?
Right.
I'm saying it's not gonna sell.
Right.
And you'll see that the artists, our people know that if I can go to this gatekeeper, you have 1,000 artists, one of them might be conscious.
Yeah.
The other 999 might be willing to sell their soul. And what does he do? Since this is the area that we are channeling our talent and skill set and our practice in, they can say, oh, you know what? I'll take you, because you look like you're going to sell your soul to best, and the rest of y'all can go on.
Right.
So once they seen, as you said, with Chuck D and Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, Brand Nubian, X-Clank, once they seen the conscious was actually affecting the conscious, they immediately said, we got to flip it. And what do? They went from revolutionary, conscious, to gangster.
Yeah.
Now we went from saving our people to killing our people. Now what's happening?
Now we over-sexualize, materialize,
Materialism,
drugged up,
sexism, bragging about being a dope fiend.
Right.
Ain't never in the history of black people that we actually bragged about being a junkie.
Right.
But now we bragging about being a junkie.
You could see the most down baddest crackhead in the world, and he'll swap it down. He ain't on crack. And like, I'm looking at you, I know. Yeah. So it was a shameful thing back in the days, but yeah, we more so it's glorified. It's glorified now.
So you know what ends up happening to us is that it's a reason why whenever you going through your social media, it's called your feed.
Yeah.
It's called your feed.
Yeah.
You are what you eat. So so back in our era, they use radio programming and television. That was the primary instrument that was used. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this one day in the early days. He said, one day the devil will be in your living room and you won't even know it. Guess what he was talking about? The television.
Man.
Modern translation. One day the devil will be in your pocket,
man,
and you don't even know it.
Right.
So they used to tell us a vision with television.
Yeah.
What is a vision? An image of the future. I'm telling you a vision. I put something on this box to make you think this is what everybody's doing, and I make you feel like you behind, so go ahead and do it. It wasn't happening. It wasn't reality. but I'm creating a reality by showing it to you. Program, a radio program. Definition of program is the installation of commands in advance to dictate an action in the future. That's what they did with the rate. Now we got a feed on our timeline, and we're looking at it, and we are thinking that this is how everybody's getting down now. This is how everybody's doing it. So I need to be doing the same thing everybody else is doing. He on dope and still got a Bentley.
Right.
Look at he smoked this, he on drinking it, so forth, and he still got diamonds. And it's an illusion. It's an illusion. So we you know, unfortunately our cell phones have become jail cell phones. And in the same way a cell can keep you entrapped into a small space, if you are locked into this cell phone, it can have you locked into a small reality when you function in the world.
Do you and it's a drug too, man. It's addictive. The whole social media is addictive because people spend so if you just go out into the public, anywhere you can go, if you see 20 people, 16 of them looking
at that. So this is what's so crazy about it. So there's an author, an Indian author who wrote a book called Digital Heroin. And he shows by putting the brain under the brain scan that the same dopamine rush that comes from shooting heroin comes from consistently staring at social media.
Right.
It's a dopamine rush.
Right.
You can be addicted to it, just like a drug itself.
Right. Right.
Now what ends up happening in this social dilemma is that, you know, for every psychology dictates physiology.
Right.
In other words, however I'm thinking, that's going to determine how my body language is. If I'm not interested in what you're saying, you can tell.
Right.
If I'm tired, if I'm very interested,
right,
you can tell.
Right.
Psychology impacts physiology, but by the law of reversibility, physiology can affect psychology.
Dang. Come on.
They found that it's impossible for you to think negative down thoughts and keep a smile on your face.
Wow.
At a certain point, your physiology is going to affect your psychology and you're going to start thinking better than you were thinking.
Right.
What happens whenever my head is down at a 45-degree angle all the time? See, if my head is down physiology, then it affects my psychology. My thinking is going to go down too. So as long as everybody's at the dinner table, and this is everybody's doing, as long as you see people walking down the street, and this is what we're doing, as we are looking down, we start thinking down.
Right. Right.
Now this is a tool.
Yeah. And I see a lot of time, I got to catch myself because you'll be scrolling and when you get caught in that little scroll zone and the stuff you read and see from other people, it starts to affect your spirit and your mood because this person going through it, this person mad, this person cussing out their baby mama, and all this stuff you taking it in. So when you say you are what you eat, you know, it represents more than just that physical food.
That's right.
It's killing us too.
Yeah, that's right.
So
there's the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to validate your point. He said these two systems, the brain and digestive system, have a lot in common. What affects one affects the other.
Right.
So you can have swine food, but you can also have swine ideas. In the same way that pork or swine, trichina worms can eat your brain cells, so can lies and falsehood and negative information.
Right.
So we have to be careful that we're not eating swine.
Yeah. Yeah. We look at our condition as Black people and a lot of people that, man, it ain't no saving. It's no possible way. I know that to be not true, but what would be just some of the things you would say to say, well, you know what, these are some of the things we need to start implementing in order to try to turn that steering wheel and get this thing lined up right?
Well, there's a saying that I have, Carino, that kind of keeps your mind calibrated. And I say this: I will not allow my self-image nor any other perception to be shaped by non-scriptural concepts.
Gotcha.
In other words, if God didn't say it, I'm not riding with you. The only way I'm accept an idea, a thought from anywhere, from anybody, is if I can make it match what God already said.
Right.
So there's a verse where Jesus or Paul said, bring every thought captive unto Christ. What you mean? Arrest it.
Right.
Anything somebody's saying, first thing I got to do is arrest it.
Right.
Then I'm going to bring it to the mind of God and compare it to the mind of God. If it matches, I'm going to keep it. If it don't match, I'm going to kill it.
Throw it away. Yeah.
So if the scripture says where there's life, there's hope.
Right.
As long as there's life, there is hope.
Right.
We have in our teaching, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that the will of God or Master Father Muhammad cannot be frustrated.
Right.
It's guaranteed. Look at Genesis 15:13.
Right. Yeah.
The 15th verse. It says that know of a surety, Abram, your seed shall be a stranger in a land that's not theirs. They're going to serve a nation and be afflicted by a nation for 400 years. That's us.
Right. Nope.
And no, that's not talking about some white man or white Jew in Egypt building no pyramids. If they were building pyramids, tell me why the word pyramid is not in the Bible anywhere.
Come on.
2,000 translations of the Bible, not one translation has the word pyramid, but that's what y'all say y'all was building.
Come on.
They said in the Bible they were building bricks that were made of mud and straw. Pyramids are not made of mud and straw. They're made of gold, then marble, or granite. The last living wonder of the world is the Pyramid Giza. 451 feet tall, 451 feet deep, covers 13.5 acres of land, made of 1 million blocks of gold, marble, and granite, each weighing 3.5 tons apiece, stacked mathematically precise up in the air, down in the earth, east to west, not deviating 1 square inch. And we built it without John Deere, Caterpillar, bulldozers, or crane. We built it with the power of our mind. That's us.
Right.
See, if y'all, white people, are the ones that's the seed of Abraham that built these pyramids, where's your other ones at?
Right.
We looked over at yours. You got the leaning towers.
Yeah.
Your building's crooked. And you're trying to make them artwork now.
Right.
That's what but ours is still up.
Yeah, lined up with stars.
Look at this, Brother Reno. At the base of the pyramid, that's not a white man on that lion.
No.
The Sphinx is the body of a lion with the head of a black man.
Come on.
How do you know? Because his lips and nose are missing.
Right.
Those are the 2 features on a face that make you to know what nationality you're looking at.
Right. They couldn't have.
Napoleon in 1798, he trained the cannons on the blew the features off that would make us know it was a black man.
Right.
They say whatever, they just went away from weathering and natural erosion. Well, why come the claws are
Y'all saying why just the nose and lips?
Why just nose and lips?
Yeah.
No. And then look, underneath the Sphinx is the Arabic words written Abu el-Hal, which means in English, father of everything.
Right.
See, they were trying to send us a message, our ancestors. They were saying, look, you're going to learn one day that the lion is the king of the jungle. So I'm going to put your head on it so that you'll know you're the king of this planet.
Right.
And if you knew that you were the king of the planet and you were the father and mother of all art, science, and civilization, then your expectations of yourself will be so great, you will never accept being a second-class citizen, 3/5 of a human being, or a slave.
Yeah.
So what's it going to take to get us up?
Right.
We first must have, according to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have to have a thorough knowledge of self. And when you know yourself, you start loving yourself. And when you love yourself, you start doing for yourself. And when you do for yourself because you know and love yourself, then your brother, base word of brother is other. You my other self.
Come on.
If I know me and love me and doing right by me, I got to treat my other me the same way. How can I rob my other me?
Come on, man.
How can I kill my other? How am I sell dope to my other me?
Right.
How am I going to mess with your wife? You my other self.
Right.
And when that kind of concept of self-knowledge that produces that kind of self-love returns, then the hope that life has given us, we'll see that it can manifest itself.
It makes me think about how this world that we live in, they are always trying to suppress the effects of slavery on Black people. That's like, it's always, that was a long time ago, forget about it. Y'all still complaining, y'all should have been pulled yourself up. But thinking about not just the physical slavery, the physical aspect of it, but how they had to go in and break the mind down in order to, the breaking down of the mind, those effects extend far beyond what was done to the body. So now we see a lot of our young people that don't even have a knowledge of what we went through, and a lot of our older people that have kind of fallen into that mindset of, I want to talk about that. I heard a brother, I'm not gonna say his name, but famous brother. They said, "Well, how do you think we combat slavery? I mean, racism?" He said, "Quit talking about it." And I was like, but brother, you 80 years old. So I think the effect that this thing has had on our minds is what's extending it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you teaching, okay, they want us to compare ourselves to every voluntary immigrant.
No.
But we're not a voluntary immigrant, not Black people in America. We're involuntary immigrant. We didn't come here for opportunity. Later on down the line of time, we were kidnapped. We were brought here and made slaves. We are the creators of the opportunities that other people are benefiting from that we never got a chance to cash in on. So when you look at the process of what it took to get us in this condition, it's unfair and unjust to compare us to any other group of people that came here to America and are able to make progress. Our Asian family, our Latino family, our Arab family, our Pakistani, our Indian family, they may have suffered some colonization, but they were not made slaves. We were completely dehumanized. Think about this. The first slaves that came to America, matter of fact, let's go back. Before we came to America, do you know they bought a trading post in the jungle? They had trading posts. Guess what they served? Alcohol. Firewater. They got us drunk, got us on the ship. Then we lost just in the Middle Passage alone. Some estimate up to 100 million lives lost in the Middle Passage. They say now that sharks still travel the same route as a transatlantic slave trade today in 2026. Why? Because they have in their genetic memory that's always going to be food on this route. And they think slave ships are still rolling. That's how many of us went overboard. When we got to America, the math says that they killed around between 2 and 13 million of us when we first came to America to be made slaves. Do you know that when we were brought here, we were not slaves. We were inventors. Absolutely. We were kings. We were rulers. We were scientists. We knew civilization building. They couldn't make the first batch of us slaves. So they killed off all the adults and spared the young and raised the young in a no good, wicked, white supremacist foster care system called slavery.
That's right.
And what happened to them, see, if you don't have any books to read and you don't have any parents or grandparents to teach you the way we used to be,
disconnect,
then now you are left with a mind that can be taught anything you want it to learn.
Right.
So they call it, among the animal world, they call it premature cognitive commitment. It means that all you got to do is take any creature, catch it while it's a baby, and if you train it, you can make it operate against its own nature.
Right.
So they have found that you can take an elephant, as long as you get him young, tie him to a string, and as he tries to break that rope, you can keep him on that same string. When he gets big enough to pull the whole tent down, and he'll never go free.
Condition.
You can put fish in an aquarium and put a piece of glass in the middle, and every time the fish come to that glass and hit the glass, they'll say, "This is as far as I can swim." At some point, you can move the glass and they'll never go past it. Fleas can be put in a jar, and if they hit the plastic, you can move the plastic, and at a certain point, they'll never. Do you know a flea's vertical is 36 inches?
Yeah. It's
off the ground.
100 times its own height.
That's more than 100.
Yeah.
36 inches is 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah, that's great.
That might be 3,000%.
That's great.
But you put them in an 8-inch jar with plastic on it for a couple of weeks, remove the plastic, they'll never jump.
Right.
What is it? It's premature cognitive commitment. So they took us and they raised us in a way that they told us, you're born to be a hewer of wood, a drawer of water. You ought to be thankful that us good God-fearing Christians brought you Negroes over here. We found you over there in Africa swinging from vines with bones in your nose. No, hell, we weren't the ones savage. Y'all were savage in the caves of Europe. We were the civilization builders.
Come on.
Ask the philosophers, where did they learn philosophy from?
Come on.
So you got Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Hypothagorus, Thales, all of that line. Look, the top one, Thales, said that if you really want to learn philosophy, you must go where I went to learn it, and that was in the mystery schools in Egypt.
Right.
So Imhotep was a philosopher. Mansa Musa, the most effective entrepreneur and money manager ever known to the history of the world. We're the builders of the pyramids.
Yeah.
So this crime against humanity called slavery is the worst crime that has ever happened to a human being. So we have to learn that, because it allows us to have more understanding of why we are the way that we are. And it doesn't excuse us,
Right.
but it does help us understand. And we should be willing, with mercy, to grade each other on the curve and be a little more compassionate, a little more understanding and forgiving and patient with each other as we go through the process. Now we are, look at what happened in that verse. It says, after that time that you have been a stranger in the land not yours, serve that nation for 400 years. Look, I will come. That's God talking.
Right.
Not a messenger, not a prophet, God himself. And I'm going to do two things. I'm going to judge the nation that made you slaves. And you all are going to come out having great substance.
Come on.
And in the original, Brother Carino, the word substance, most people think that means that it's going to be a product.
Yeah.
But it's not a product, it's a process.
Mm.
The word substance in the Hebrew and in the Sanskrit is yesh and padartha. And guess what it means? The how-to.
Wow.
So you're not going to get the income, you're going to get the idea.
Right.
You're not going to get a product, you'll get a process. You're going to get the how-to. So once you get the how-to, then you work the how-to,
Right.
and that's whenever your great substance is going to come. So it is already pre-written that we will be the winners.
Right.
I'm telling you, I skipped to the end of the book. I read the last chapter.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we do win. It
Right.
just don't look like it
Yeah.
right now, because we've been taking so many L's for so long.
Yeah.
But at the end of the cycle of time, the will of God will not be frustrated. We are going to come out of this thing having great substance. Now, how many of us come out, I don't know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we gonna survive and we gonna thrive.
Elijah Muhammad said that he believed we could beat the prophet's prediction. So hopefully that will manifest itself, but we got a lot of work to do.
That's right.
Just keeping it real. With all of the social climate that's going on, with you seeing all these ICE raids and all these different things, it still goes back to what the messenger and the minister have always said, that we will see these things in our cities at some point. And I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is what we're seeing now, is just the baby stages of it. This is just the beginning, the embryonic stages of it. What's your take on this whole thing that we're seeing right now?
So this is a time that we got to get right. America is going to fall. Do you think God was going to let them get away with kidnapping a whole nation of people?
Come on.
Listen to this. America is stolen land built by stolen people.
Come on.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You stole land and then stole people to build the land. And now our brothers and sisters, the Native Americans, are on reservations. Do you know they got the highest suicide rate right now of any nationality in the country? The highest alcoholism of any other people? Look at what you think. God, the Lord of the world. See, the scripture shows that a nation where everything goes will soon be gone.
Right.
You can't tell me that you're going to have Pharaoh judged for slavery and America's not going to be. You can't tell me you're going to have Nineveh judged for fighting and killing one another and gambling, and America's not going to be with all this madness. Don't tell me that Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be judged for freakishness with as freaky as America is, and it's not going to catch it. No, you can't say that Rome got chastised and America's not. Everything that any nation has ever done, America's doing all of that times 10 at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's earning the judgment, of God.
Right.
Now our problem is that, we think that, man, if America go fall apart, what we gonna do?
Right. Come on, man.
What we gonna do? Look, if America fall, we already at the bottom.
Right. You can't fall no further.
Hell, if you already at the bottom and something is falling, you ain't supposed to get sad. You supposed to get out the way.
Right.
Let it fall. And then what I'm gonna do? Come pick up the pieces and see what I can rebuild.
Yeah.
So we already are in a condition, but that is the love that God has for us, and unfortunately, we are being used by our enemy as hostages.
Do you think we waste a lot of time trying to immerse ourselves in America's political process? Because thinking about that, if a nation is falling, and I get it, a lot of Black people, they probably don't even think on that or process that they feel like a lot of white people feel like, man, this is the United States of America. It's gonna always, this the most powerful. But a lot of our participation, like in these national elections, I mean, to me, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me if you feel like I'm off somewhere, but
Well, politics, I understand you.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Democrats or the Republican, it's all politics at the end of the day. But suffice it to say this: local people that you meet, Negroes got to stop going in there being party loyalists.
yeah,
You're going to go behind the little curtain and just pull one lever
just
for
because,
everybody that's a Democrat.
yeah,
Or one lever for everybody. No, you go in there and you pick the people that you met and that promise what you say you wanted as a community and hold them accountable for it individually.
Right.
But every city we went in, including Houston, I asked the same question, but Carolina, to all the people that invite, I asked myself, let me ask y'all a question. How many Asians do y'all have on the school board?
Right.
None. Here.
Right.
How many Asians do y'all have in the city council? None. How many Asians do you have working at the mayor's office or the governor's office? None. I said, so let me get this right. So you're telling me Asians have power with no politics?
Come on.
But Black people got politics.
Nope.
And they ain't got no power.
Come on, man.
Maybe we need to take a page from the Asian. But do you know who the top median household income is in the United States of America right now? It's the East Indian and the Asian.
Okay.
Both of them are averaging as a median income over $100,000 a year.
Wow.
They in business for themselves though.
Right.
They not doing you see them, they got all the subways. They doing business. What about us?
They not waiting around.
We last place.
Yeah. And that's why I said, like, so much time has been wasted. I knew we had to go through the civil rights movement. We had to do all of the things to try to get the little bit of action we got now. But you think about, we go back to Black Wall Street but there were many other cities besides just Tulsa. People think Tulsa was just a one-off, but it was multiple cities that were doing the same. So we've already exercised that principle, but it got lost. And I just think we wasted so much time, man. And because they put whoever they want to put in front of us and say, okay, these are the two that y'all choose who's going to be.
The minister said it like this. He said, politics without economics is symbol without substance.
Yeah.
So we put too much energy in the civil rights and not enough in the civil rights. We worked hard to get elected officials, but not hard to build an economy for ourselves. So as you said, there was a Black Wall Street in Tulsa. There was a Rosewood.
Yeah.
There was a Bronzeville.
Right.
There was Overtown in Miami. There's been Black thriving communities. The problem though, see, the only time that we were successful as individual people is whenever white people didn't let us eat with them, shop with them, and go. So integration really meant disintegration.
Come on, man.
To everything Black owned and Black operated.
Come on, man.
Look, this is the honest truth. So whenever we couldn't eat with them, all of our restaurants was bumping.
Come on.
When we couldn't get on their bus, our bus line with our cab company, our cleaners, but as soon as they said, come on into the back door and sit by the toilet.
Yeah.
That's how they did Black people.
Yeah.
Sit by the toilet and here you go, spit in your food.
Yeah.
We so filled with self-hatred. So instead of complaining about what they are doing, let's replace it with something better. So if you don't like the way they treat you at the Korean-owned beauty supply house, put one next to it like yours. If you don't like the education and the curriculum of the public school system, make your own school. If you don't like the way they treat you in the Democratic Party, hell, start the Black Party.
Right.
What we got to stop thinking so little of ourselves that we only can get some crumbs that fall from the rich man's table. Lazarus, lazy are us.
Man.
We got to come from that and realize why didn't Lazarus say, you know what, instead of me sitting here wasting all my energy trying to wait for a crumb to fall from this table, what's wrong with me? Can I have my own land and grow my own wheat?
Right.
Wait a minute. If I plant wheat seed like they did, I can grow wheat and I can grind it up and make flour. Hell, I can have a kitchen in the oven. I can make my own bread. I don't need to wait for no crumbs. I'll make my own whole loaf. But it all starts with self-knowledge and self-love. So when we don't have that expectation and think enough of ourselves that we can do, we're gonna always be sitting here wasting all of our energy begging. Have you ever did planks before?
No.
Exercise planks?
Oh, you
When you're
stretch straight out like that? No, I've never done that. I've never.
Well, if you try it,
Yeah.
you can get just as tired with your arms out and squatting, sitting still,
Yeah.
as you can picking up something and running.
Right.
Black
Oh
people,
yeah. Oh no. Oh.
this is us.
You talk about against the wall where?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've done that before. Yeah.
But look at us.
You about to cry? Yeah.
This is us.
Right.
We standing outside the master's door. Please make it better.
Yeah.
Do something for us.
Yeah.
Do you know if you stand out there with your arms like this, your arms are going to get
No
tired
doubt
holding
about
them out there begging, or they're going to get tired building.
Right.
Why not
Come on.
get tired building? Because you pretty much guarantee some results.
Yeah.
Versus after this 400 years of doing the same thing.
And we've seen the results of that.
Yeah. So we gotta take our rightful position, but it first starts with having the right mindset.
A while back, bro, I don't know if you noticed, I sampled you in one of my songs. You was talking about heaven and hell and
exactly.
And I got a song where I broke all it down just through the teachings. And when I heard you, I said, no, I'm jacking that. I'm saying, I'm sorry, brother Nuri, I gotta get you for that one. But so many people, I want you to just speak on that a little bit because we've been fooled. That's another aspect of slavery that has fooled us to thinking that we gotta wait in order. You gotta die in order to get this reward that they are already enjoying while they still living.
I appreciated you doing that too, bro. I had no problem with it.
Okay.
But you know what they did? I tried to use it, and they told me that was a violation of copyright.
Oh, did you try to use the song?
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, that's probably because they probably went thinking
got-
of protecting me.
I said, hell, it's me.
Right, exactly. That's your voice. You're collaborating on the song.
That's me on
It's your
here. What you
song,
talking about? But I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But that's so the concept of heaven after you die was given to the slaves as a means of pacifying us,
Right.
and keeping us from being revolutionary.
Right.
See, if I'm raping your son and your daughter and your wife, if I'm killing your uncle just for reckless eyeballing, they called it, means that I caught him looking over at Miss Susie, and I'm going to kill him for reckless eyeballing. In order to keep you from having a natural response of wanting to retaliate and revolt, I got to make you think that, Uncle, don't worry about it. He's in heaven waiting on you. Yeah, I know I killed the lynch. Don't worry about it. They in heaven waiting on you.
Right.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said this, and really Jesus, this is the opposite. Sometimes the Reverend is teaching opposite of Jesus. If you listen to the Reverend of the church, he spends all his time trying to get you off the earth into heaven.
Yeah.
But if you listen to Jesus, he spent all his life trying to get you out of the sky and on the earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done where? On earth as it is in heaven. Whenever the people were looking up in the sky and talking about heaven, he said, no, the kingdom of God is where? Within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So if the kingdom of God is within us, and it's not up in outer space, and we're supposed to make it and start working harder to secure something sound on the ground while we're still around.
Come on.
And if we did that, then we wouldn't be waiting till we're dead. We would be trying to live to get the best out of life that we can.
No question about it, man. We got Brother Nuri Muhammad in the building dropping bombs as you. I wanted to ask you this question. I also just thought about it. Why have you seen this little wave going on out? Why a lot of Black people starting to not believe in Jesus no more? Have you been seeing that? Like,
I have.
Okay. What you think is the root cause? I think, and I'm just gonna give my little alley-oop. I think it's just a lack of a full understanding of the different ideologies that have been planted, mixed in with our own understanding or lack of, or just not really just get it. But
The answer is all of the above.
Okay.
But so when you really get into a deep interview with the brother or sister that says this, what you'll find is that they don't believe in Michelangelo's cousin.
No doubt.
They don't believe in this white Jesus, this non-revolutionary, passive, milquetoast, soft, punctified savior. They believe in a Black revolutionary Messiah, and they know it in their mind and in their DNA that that's who he is.
Yeah.
So they just denying that. I'll tell you an example. I had a brother, he's a doctor, and I was telling him I was going to be speaking somewhere. You ought to come through. He said, "Oh, brother, I can't do that." I said, "Well, what's going on?" He said, "I'm an atheist."
Yeah.
I said, "You're an atheist?" I said, "Well, do me brother," I don't want to put his name out there, but I said, "Brothers, can you explain to me the God you don't believe in?" He said, I just don't believe that there's some ghost just moving around in outer space. It just can be anywhere he wants to be, where he wants to be, and we don't have to do for ourselves or nothing. We just have to wait on him to do. I just don't believe that that's true. I said, "Well, dang, I'm an atheist too."
Me neither.
I didn't even know I was atheist.
Yeah. If that's the case.
If that's the case.
Right.
So what you're hearing is that he disbelieves in the false concept of God.
Absolutely.
And when you interview people that say they don't believe in the false concept of Jesus that they've been fed.
Right.
That this lie that operates in our mind that Jesus was a Caucasian has had more damage to the mind and brain of Black people than any other lie ever told.
Right.
There's a brother named Dale Jones did a study on it, and he found that the most destructive lie ever told to the Black psyche was that Jesus was a white man.
Wow.
So what happens is that you have logic circuits in your brain. So if I tell you Jesus was white, logically you start thinking, well, if Jesus was white and he's the Son of God, then God's his father, then God had to be white too. Right. And if God is love and God is good, then wait a minute, I'm the opposite of white. I'm Black, so I'm the opposite of love, and I'm the opposite of good. Well, I'm the opposite of God. Right. And even though we never consciously did that kind of deduction, inference, or reasoning, subconsciously, you can tell we think like that because of the way we treat each other.
Yeah.
How much we kill each other. So that lie, if we were able to see Jesus as one of our brothers, right, that was not an excuse, but was the example.
Right.
See, there's two ways you can talk about Jesus and say the same thing, but they mean something when you look at the shades of meaning. Some people say he died for me.
Right.
But another way of saying it is he gave his life for me.
Right.
See, when you think died for me, you focus on the last 24 hours of his existence. Yeah. But when you think he gave his life for me, now you study the whole time that he operated. How did he teach? How did he handle the poor? How did he treat women and children? How did he live? What kind of honor? So when you think he gave his life for me, right, then you put Jesus as your example and not as an excuse. Yeah. We have an epidemic right now. Brother, we got Jesus has too many fans and not enough followers.
Come on.
A whole lot of cheerleading going on for Jesus, but nobody trying to be like him. Right. That's not what he asked.
Right.
He said, if you're going to be my disciples, 3 things you must do. You must, number 1, you must deny yourself, pick up your cross, and it don't say cheerlead for me. Nope. It says, and follow me.
Right.
We're supposed to be little Jesuses everywhere we go. Right. And do you know that if the kingdom of God is within you, then we should leave a little heaven behind everywhere we go.
Where we go.
So that's what the people are. The people are disbelieving in the false narrative that they've been fed about Jesus.
Right.
But I submit, don't be a lazy learner.
Come on.
Pick up the book for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a secret. I learned this formula from that book I called Message to the Black Man.
Yeah.
In the back, there's 2 sections. It's called Guide to Understanding the Bible and Guide to Understanding the Holy Quran.
Right.
You know, when you have a map and you don't know how to interpret what symbols mean, then you don't know how to really properly use the map to get from where you are to where you're trying to go.
Right.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said the Bible is our road map to our salvation, but it has to be properly understood.
Right.
So when you go into the back of Message Black Man and see that guy, you'll hear the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaching on what different symbols are in the scripture. And once you take the verses that he breaks it down, and Jesus is telling you, you can do a greater work than he's done. He's telling you, I don't want you to just be like me. I want you to take it to another level. So, let this mind be in you, the same mind that was in Christ Jesus. Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven are perfect. These are the revolutionary, empowering ideologies that come from the mind of Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what people want.
Right.
They don't want to just sit around and be happy about being handicapped and be waiting. Most people aren't looking for messengers, Brother K. Reno. We're looking for magicians.
Come on, exactly. From a low down level.
That's what we're looking for. We want somebody to come and say, Shazam.
I'm looking down, bro. Yeah.
Let me pull some money from behind your ear.
Right.
Let me pull freedom out the hat.
Right.
No, we're going to work for this thing.
No question.
We're going to be educated. A messenger brings a message.
Right.
And our job is to believe the message and apply the message.
Act on it, yeah.
A whole lot of people have a lot of truth, but a whole lot of people don't use the truth they have.
Right.
So we're not really in the condition that we're in because we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We're in the condition that we're in because we don't do what we know. That's the math.
Man, come on. I wanted to ask you this too, because I think one of our biggest problems as Black people, and we might be a little biased to this, but one of our biggest problems is that we've been presented this misrepresentation of the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, Mr. Farrakhan, and a lot of Black people have latched on to a lot of the lies and misinformation that the media and government puts out in terms of how they describe the minister and all that. Of course, all of it can be disproven, but we got to give ourselves the opportunity to sit down and humble ourselves who might feel like that and learn, like you say. Can you speak on the misrepresentation of the minister and the nation, and also a lot of our Black people who do love the minister, but they're controlled by the devil, and they try to act like they don't know the minister in certain circles like that.
That's right. Well, Nicodemus.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Nicodemus. Yeah. But remember this, brothers and sisters, any man that will not treat you right will never teach you right.
Right.
So you can't expect a group of people that spent the first 450 years of our existence with them trying to put us in hell.
Come on.
To all of a sudden open up the door to heaven.
Right.
To us. They spent their life trying to keep you in hell.
Right.
Get us in hell. Why would they give us the route to heaven? So it's always been, when you look at the undergirding of all opposition, government rulers of the time, the ultimate aim of this world has always been to kill the messenger of God.
Right.
And what they do is, if they cannot afford to assassinate the character, they assassinate the character.
The individual. Yeah.
So it's no coincidence that J. Edgar Hoover had as his 5 points, number 1, prevent the rise of a what? Black Messiah.
Right.
Who could unify and electrify the people. So we know what unify means. We come together. Do you know electrify scripturally means to be quickened by the Spirit? And to be quickened by the Spirit means to defeat learned helplessness and operate with power. That's what it means to. So they don't want us to know who that Messiah is.
Right.
The enemy of God and the rulers of the people have always known who the man of God is before the people of God that the man came to. When Moses was getting ready to be born, Pharaoh said, kill all the firstborn boy babies.
Right.
Why? Why? You know what you're doing to bring birth to a Moses.
Yeah, right.
When Jesus was getting ready to be born, King Herod said, kill all the boy babies 2 years old and under. Why? Because you know what you're doing to the people of God to bring birth to a messenger of God that's going to warn them, pull them away from you, and judge you.
Right.
So the same way Pharaoh knew Moses was coming and Herod knew Jesus was coming, the U.S. government has always knew that there will be a Farrakhan or a Muhammad coming.
Right.
So when you look at their candidates for the Black Messiah, this is J. Edgar Hoover.
Back in the day. Yeah.
He had Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
Watch this though. 4 people. Do you know Stokely Carmichael said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was his leader and teacher?
Okay.
Malcolm X was made by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And then you got the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The only one person you have that's outside of being the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or a student is Dr. King.
Yeah.
Look what they said about him. They said that he could be one of the most viable of the candidates should he abandon white liberal doctrine.
Right.
This is what they said about him.
Yeah, it's in the,
Should he abandon white liberal doctrine?
Right.
So if you got 3 out of 4 being Muhammad or someone that was touched or trained or taught by Muhammad, then maybe that's why they're so scared of Farrakhan, because Farrakhan is that Muhammad today. So there's a conspiracy of silence,
Right.
where they try to act like that he doesn't exist and no report on it. And you know he's banned on all social media accounts. You can't really tell because we constantly put him out there.
No, it got worse.
Yeah,
Like y'all should have let him stay because now you see more Farrakhan than anything.
Come on.
So come on
but
with
that's
it.
God's work.
Right, exactly.
That's how God. So the scripture says
When I
that the
say
dragon,
worse for them.
worse for them.
Right,
Yeah. The scripture says that the dragon will spew out a flood
Yeah.
and the earth will swallow it.
Right.
So you put out a propaganda, you try to withdraw Farrakhan, now he's more on the scene than ever, and it's coming from all different sources and outlets. Now people sitting there with a picture in a corner. They got the minister playing like this, white people,
Yeah.
Asians. Farrakhan, listen to him.
Right.
I can't believe that y'all been lying to me about this man. I seen a Jewish woman on there the other. I can't believe y'all been misrepresenting this man all this time. What is it about him? So J. Edgar Hoover, in the COINTELPRO, he mentioned the nation. He said that we can't even afford to give them bad press.
Right.
He said, because even bad or negative press seems to generate curiosity among the Negro.
Right.
And their curiosity causes them to want to go listen, and they may join.
Yeah.
So they said we must discredit them among 3 groups. Look what he said. 1, we got to discredit the nation among white people. 2, we want to discredit them among what they call the responsible Negro community.
Okay.
I call them African American.
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference between a black man and
No
African
doubt
American.
about it. No doubt.
I don't even have to explain to it.
No, sir. We're not explaining for the
But
human audience.
But I'm saying a responsible Negro
Right.
is a non-threatening Negro.
Right.
That's
Right.
And then the other group that they wanted to discredit was considered to be the radical blacks. So you look at who they always have their hand in the back of talking for. You got white people against us. You have the responsible bourgeois Negro. And then you even have some so-called revolutionary group coming in. You kill milk.
Right.
You kill milk.
Right.
Knowing if we did, then why come we're not being sued
Come on, man.
by his daughter
Right.
and our brother Crump? Come on now.
Right.
If we did, why come they ain't locked the minister up yet? Just do the math.
Come on.
Do the math. So that's their campaign.
Yeah.
But so far the earth has been swallowing up the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all that they have done against the nation and the minister. And here he is, a black man in America,
Right.
calls a 1,000,000-man march on a Monday take off of work. Don't go to school. We ain't paying nothing, and we ain't sponsored by Chrysler, Coca-Cola, Chevy, Ford. We doing this ourselves. We ain't giving nobody nothing. You pay your own way.
Right.
And nearly 2 million men show up.
Come on, man.
So that, to me, in my humble opinion, Brother Carino, that was God's stamp of approval.
Yeah.
He's saying, I'm notarizing this man.
That's right.
He's been notarized from heaven.
For the world to see.
This is the only, there's nobody else that can do that.
No doubt.
No one has ever done it in the past and can do it.
Yeah.
1.8 million black men showed up, and no arguing, no fighting. You didn't smell no weed in the air. You didn't see no drinking. There wasn't no free hot dogs, no naked women.
None of that.
It was all 100% taking responsibility. We came to atone.
Yeah.
To our women, to our children, to our people, and to our God. And we returned back home a better breed of black men. That's the call of a man.
Yeah.
Or God through a man.
Right.
So in spite of, all that they're doing, you had, as Nas said in one of his songs, he called it Untitled.
Yeah.
I bet he called it Untitled because had he put the name on, they wouldn't even let it come out. But it said they did not have the power to stop Louis Farrakhan.
Come on, man.
They were trying to touch on and feed envy within the leadership, but as a general and one who rose through the ranks, he inspired those men with the discipline that he imposed on his own life, Louis Farrakhan.
Come on.
So they can keep doing what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a whole lot of Nicodemuses that want to come and say, Jesus, we love you in the secret, but when they get out in the public, they don't want to say it. Well, at some point, when are you gonna be a real man? And develop a testicular fortitude to do as we say. You say you standing on business?
Come on.
Well, stand on it.
Come on.
Yeah. Who are they to tell you who you can make a friend?
Right. Absolutely.
You a grown down man, and you're gonna tell me that I wouldn't advise you to go over there and talk to Farrakhan.
Yeah, they value that money and that position, and that's what they fear is fueled by. So, and because I'm with you, it's like that bothers me because I lose it all. I would lose it all that day, because it's like if you know what a man have done for you, if you know what a man is role and been instrumental in helping to save your life or even to turn you into a man or a woman.
Come on.
I'm losing it all that day, bro.
That's right.
But that's something that I feel like we not on like we need to be. I feel like some will come around. We've seen some brothers take the hit, but we got to have it to where we defend a man who have never hesitated to defend us.
That's right.
That's what it.
And he's an honorable man.
Right.
He's a noble man.
No doubt.
He's a selfless, sacrificial.
Yeah.
He's been on the front line longer than most of us have been on the line.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Since 1955, my mother was 3.
Yeah.
Not me.
Mine was 1. Yeah.
So I'm saying that to say, that's how long he's been on the battlefield, not knick-knacking, not dilly-dallying, but on the front line, fighting for us as a people. So, it is, they know something special about him.
Right.
They know that he's not a Negro leader.
Right.
He's not an organizational head. He's not a civil rights activist. He's not a bishop or a preacher. They know that this is God's man on the scene, and they don't want the people of God to meet their man of God. Because when the people of God meet the man of God, they become a God.
They're going to lose their slaves,
And you can't be a God and a slave at the same time.
Come on.
So.
Come on. Brother, before we get you out of here, man, is there any other that you have on your mind? We know you've written several books. You speak a lot about relationships and marriage and have really been instrumental in helping that cause and helping people to kind of work those things out and couples-wise. If you want to elaborate on some of the work you've done in that field or anything else you want to.
Well, I appreciate it. We do have 2 new projects that we just dropped. How to Love a Black Man and How to Love a Black Woman, 2 separate books.
Balance. Yeah.
And they're designed almost a third of each one of the books. It teaches on the protocols of self-love. The minister said this: you cannot love anyone more than you love yourself, not even God. Because if God is your creator and you're his creation and you don't love what he created, how can you love the one that created you properly? So we have the protocols of self-love in it that allows a sister to learn certain principles, knowledge, and historical facts about herself, scriptural facts about herself, gender-specific commands about herself, and then it shows how to get the best out of the man and vice versa for that. And I was doing a press conference in one of the cities, and a thought came to my mind, and I just said it. We'll never get the hood right till we get the home right.
Come on.
We'll never get the hood right until we get the home right. The minister said this. He said the number one threat to our national security as a people is divorce. Do you know that Black people have the highest divorce rate in America of any group of people on the face of the earth?
I know.
75% divorce rate.
Yeah.
Do you know in 1867, 2 years up from so-called Emancipation Proclamation, that look at this, 9 out of 10 eligible adults, Black adults, were married.
Right.
And with a nearly 100% success ratio.
Yeah.
Now, only 4 out of 10 eligible adults are married.
And they ain't making it.
With a 3/4 divorce ratio.
Yeah. They not
So if
getting
10 and only 4 is getting married, and then out of the 4, only 1's gonna make it.
Dang.
When the function is there, that means only 1% of all of us as Black adults are operating in a structured nuclear home that we can say I have a wife or I have a husband.
Right.
So the minister said this, that where you don't have strong marriages, you can't have strong families.
Right.
Where there are no strong families, you can't have a strong community. And where there are no strong communities, you cannot have a strong nation.
Right.
So marriage becomes the cornerstone of nation building. So that's the 2 projects, and that's what kind of leaned me toward it. And in truth, being invited to speak by all different kind of groups and always having sidebar meetings with them, the organizers, on relationship problems.
Right.
I said, man, if you mean to tell me you out here fighting for your people and then you got to go home and do round 2 with your own wife or own husband?
Right.
That's no. I said, look, the last thing that a Black man wants to come home to after fighting in this world is have to go round 2 with his own woman.
Right.
And the last thing a Black woman wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to come home to a man that ain't been fighting at all.
That's right.
And that's what you've seen happen. The house is supposed to be our spiritual recharge center. It's supposed to be a place that we extract from this wicked white supremacist world, come home to a pure source of love, and extract from the environment peace and power.
Yeah.
But if I got to fight you at home and go fight in the world, how am I ever going to be effective at winning this war?
There ain't no refuge.
So that's kind of why we went at it the way we did.
And what we see now that I don't see in any other group of people, even before you get to the stage, forget marriage, before you even get to the stage of the relationship, we had this division between Black men and women that we see expressed all over the internet on a daily basis. The brothers going in on, get your passports, brother, we leaving. The sisters going in on the brother. It's like, it's bad out here.
Guess who started it? It wasn't a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It was Willie Lynch.
Okay, well, we're going to go way back.
It didn't just start when YouTube came out. It started in 1712.
Yeah.
See, Willie Lynch said, he said, look, I've outlined a number of differences among the slaves. And I make them bigger than what they really are.
Yeah.
And he named 11 things. He said, I put the young against the old, old against the young, light against dark, dark against light, short against tall, tall against short, small to plantation against big plantation. I put the one with straight haired eyes with one core. Then look, he said, I put the male against the female.
Right.
And the female against the male. Look what he says, though. He said, and by turning them on each other, I keep him without the one he needs to become who he needs to be. And I keep her in, he called it a frozen psychological state. That was his description of what happens. Right. So, it didn't start, we didn't choose this.
Yeah.
This is part of the slave making process, the slave breaking process.
Right.
And we were breeded on the plantation. Do you know it was 3 things that were illegal on the plantation? Reading, praying, and marriage. It was against the law to read.
Right.
That's why when you see Birth of a Nation and you see Nat Turner have to steal the Bible off the rocking chair.
Yeah.
It was against the law to read.
Yeah.
It was against the law to pray. That's why we start praying like this with our hands closed. This on our knees like this is the way we pick cotton.
Yeah.
So we would sneak. When Master wasn't looking, we was picking cotton and tobacco. We just closed our eyes and sneak a prayer in.
Right.
But before we came, we used to do what was prayers like this, symbolic to receiving the gift. That's how we prayed.
Right.
With our hands open.
Right.
But we started doing this because that's picking
cotton. Be ready to get back in.
And then look, you can go to a sophisticated wedding. They spent $100,000 with all kind of ice sculptures and we'll still jump a broom.
Yeah. Wow.
You know why? Because it was illegal to get married, but it wasn't illegal to sweep Master's porch.
Wow.
So we would jump over the broom, say we loved each other, and then go back.
Yeah, and then that's official.
So back then it was against the law.
Right.
For a black man to marry a black woman. Now you got to make a law to get him to do it.
Come on.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
That's bass backwards.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But so the point is that this gender war,
yeah, man,
is a byproduct of a slave breaking system.
Yeah.
A man cannot be the man that God wants him to be without a woman.
Right.
And a woman cannot be the woman God wants her to be without a man.
Right.
We are not independent entities. We are interdependent entities. There's certain characteristics and traits that you are looking for in a man that you can't get out of a man except that man has been inside the institution of marriage.
Come on.
And there's certain things you're looking for in a woman you won't get out of her except that she's been a part of the institution of marriage. It is that covenant connection, that sacred union, that holy matrimony that brings the best out of us. So that's how those came on the scene. And I hope that if we would just put some more energy and effort into doing love properly and doing it right, that we would be a lot better off as a people.
And quit putting our business out there, man. We got issues. Everybody got issues, but we like to add ours. I got to instantly go and tell everything that she did on Facebook and vice versa. It's like we got to be more, I guess, on code, even in our disagreements, even in our conflicts.
It's called venting.
Right.
So venting is temporary relief.
Right.
You're symptom suppressant.
Yeah.
You're talking it out with your friends, your girls, or the social media, and you got it off your chest.
Yeah.
But you didn't get it out your heart.
Come on.
So if you keep getting it off your chest but not out your heart, the problem will never go away.
Yeah.
The real way is you talk to the one that you have a problem with. Our problem, Bud K. Reno, is that most of us don't know how to speak straight words in a respectful way.
Right, in a respectful way.
Anytime we're speaking straight words to each other, we got to be cussing, yelling, and mad.
Yeah.
And if we're not cussing, yelling, and mad, if we're being kind in speech, we're not saying what we really want to say.
Right.
We have to figure out the art of communication where we know how to say what we mean what we say, and say it in a respectful way that gets results.
Right.
And I'm going to say this, real people that are in love with each other do not argue.
Yeah.
We have discussions.
Right.
See, an argument is when you go back and forth to find out who is right. But discussion is whenever we go back and forth respectfully to figure out what is right. And what it is, we submit to it.
Absolutely.
We move on.
Right.
So, we have to stop venting, getting it off of our chest. We have to start communicating with each other to get it out of our heart.
Absolutely. Man, the one and only brother, student minister, Nuri Muhammad. We've been well fed. Everybody in here had about 10 pounds worth of belly and intestines swole up a little bit, man. We thank you so much for coming through, my brother.
Thank
you. Do you want to give any social media where people can reach or let people know?
Just look me up, Nuri Muhammad, NuriMuhammad.com. And, check us out on NOI.org and store.finalcall.com. We have so much material that you can get to help really give you the equipment you need in your spiritual toolbox to build the kind of life that you want to build.
Where can they buy the books?
NuriMuhammad.com is the easiest place to get it. And of course, if you are Amazoner, they own Amazon.
Gotcha.
And get them and give a review. We are, unfortunately, we are not people anymore. We're sheeple.
Yeah.
We go where the herd goes.
Right.
So the more of us that get something good from something, that go on there and put stars on it and a good comment, you know how you do when you shop on Amazon. The way you look, nope, it ain't got enough stars. It don't have enough reviews.
Trash.
But you pick.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, go on there and look at how to love a black man and how to love a black woman. And if you believe in it, you get a lot from it. Go back and click that review button.
Yeah.
So that when people go to look for some relationship guidance, they can get some gender specific commands from the mind of God that guaranteed to work.
Come on.
And if you put 36,000 reviews and 5 stars, I promise you're going to encourage other people to buy.
No question about it. No question about it. That many people ain't off base. Well, I thank you.
That's how we think.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Bud K. Green.
Love.
My honor.
Say we've been well fed. And in honor of my brother Keisto, we don't get it like this, man. It's your big brother K. Reno, and it's your boy Keisto. This Underground Dialogue Podcast, man. We are out. What's up, man? It's your big brother K. Reno, and check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue Podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother K. Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volage. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A's. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volage.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volage, manufactured in Italy. Catch y'all later on.